They're oftentimes just pictures of innocence, lovely little creatures running around with their laughs and giggles, having just a great time. But on the surface, everything seems fine. Underneath, creepy lives have been lived in the memories of these children who say creepy things here on Ghosted in West Virginia. Good evening, obsessors, oppressors, and possessors. It is I, your humble, handsome, and apparently terribly ugly host, Alec McCann, and with me as always,
Julia.
And we also have off-screen, but probably soon on-screen, Oliver McCann, who keeps begging his mother to hold him and yet somehow is not being held.
No.
Why? Julia, why don't you tell us about this week's episode?
It is on creepy things children say.
I found some. That's some
like
creepy.
That's creepy.
Alright, so we're going to do something different this evening. I'm going to read a story, and then Julia's going to read a story. She's not agreed to this. I am just springing it on her.
Nah,
But I'm trying to get her to do more. I want her to do more.
I need to do more. I just need to be forced to.
So, I'm going to read the first story. She's going to read the second story, then on and so forth.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Can I look your ear?
No.
Oliver. Gorilla Tag's on. I'm about to turn it off. Alright, so this first one comes from the Red Painted Lady. Whore. Oh, fancy. I went with harlot. Because the color red is for harlotry. That's why it's a red letter. My 6-year-old daughter has always shared things with us. Sometimes creepy, most like, how the heck did she know this kind of things? And here's an example of my daughter being herself. At age 2, I just found out I was pregnant and had only told my husband. My goodness. We didn't want to tell my daughter yet because I had miscarried before and didn't want her to get excited. I understand that.
Yeah.
Now, one evening we were eating dinner and my daughter turns to me and says, "There's a baby in your belly." My eyes go big. My eyes go big and turn to my husband, and he asked if I had told her. Now, he swears that he didn't, and I asked her if it was a boy or a girl, and she responded, "It's a boy, but I wanted a girl. You turds." And sure enough, her baby brother arrived safe and sound 9 months later. Oliver.
Why don't you go get Ryan and JJ? JJ is talking to Aries. Go talk to Aries.
Go on. So at age 5, my mom had a history, or has a history of heart attacks. And one day she went to the ER thinking that she may be having one, but it turns out just to be AFib. I was a nervous wreck in the morning, but was fine in the afternoon once I'd heard she would be okay. I went to pick up my daughter from school and she was balancing on the table, fell backwards, but was fine. I picked her up and said, "It was more scary than anything, right?" And she said, "Yeah, but you know what's even scarier? Oma dying." Now, I didn't. Max, why are you getting in the window?
He's trying to escape.
He's just slowly getting in the window.
I love when you're home on days you're not supposed to be, because then you see
What goes on?
I go through daily. Except for without Adam here, unless it's during the week.
Right.
Because it's even more chaos when he's here. They're just everywhere. Dogs
Yeah, there's
everywhere,
a nose. Goodness gracious.
babies everywhere. It's great. It's fun.
All right, so I picked her up and said it was more scary than anything else, and she said, you know what's even scarier? Oma dying. And I'm like, why did you just say that? She didn't know what was going on. I hadn't told her about Mom, and she said she didn't know why she said it, and then went on her merry way. Then last night, age 6, my husband was putting her to bed, and he came and told me that right before she fell asleep, she turned to him and say, have you ever been on a haunted train? And my husband told her no. And I asked, why did that freak you out? And it was because 30 minutes earlier, his sister had texted him, sharing a link to a ghost train Groupon, which we wrote that down.
Heck yeah.
I told him we should be used to it by now, but sometimes she does still get by us.
Kids be knowing.
Kids be knowing. All right, so this next one, Julia is going to read. Oh no!
Maybe.
All right.
And it is by Not Me 6197. My daughter was 9 when her grandmother passed away. My mother-in-law chose to do hospice at my brother-in-law's house. We'd go visit daily, but the kids weren't comfortable going into the bedroom. They'd just peek in from the hallway. We were there visiting, and she was close to passing. I had to leave, so I decided to take the kids with me. Why would she leave them there?
Why
if
would
they're
you
not
leave
comfortable?
them? Not to mention,
She's dying.
Grandma's dying.
Yeah. We had just pulled out of the driveway when my daughter said, I don't feel right. I feel really funny, and I don't like it. I asked her if she was car sick, even though we just left, and she said no. I asked if she was feeling sad about her Grammy. She said no. It was just a weird feeling in my tummy. Not sick, though, and it's making my whole body feel weird. I let it go, thinking she was just trying to understand her emotions. I then found out, just as we were pulling away from the house, is when my mother-in-law passed away. I think my daughter was feeling her passing. There's just no other explanation.
She's psychic.
It's creepy.
Psychic.
It's like, oh. No, I'm kidding. She's a child.
But they could be psychos.
That's true.
Thinking of Oliver on that one. This next one is written by Fae Queen, so it's probably a really stable story that we're about to hear. My friend's sister took her mother to the dentist appointments near the end of her life for dentures. She had all her teeth pulled but died before getting her new teeth. That is a shame.
I know. How sad. Like, you should have gave her new teeth for upon burial.
Yeah.
She waited for those.
She's waited. My friend's sister had a daughter a few years later, and the little girl brings up the dentist trips all the time. Oh, sorry, hon. She one time said, when my teeth come in, I hope you have them all removed like last time.
Do you know where my bank is?
No, we don't know where your bank is.
You're welcome, baby doll.
Max, go away. Go. Go. That's great. You pull them all like last time.
Right? I'd have
And
to
then-
be like, excuse me?
And talks about things only Mom knew. It was very odd. Your turn again.
Sometimes I think this little one came back as a mixture of our grandparents.
He did. Oliver, stop.
Because sometimes I
Stop.
definitely see
Oliver,
my grandma.
stop. Go watch your gorilla tag. I think he dropped some ducats in a row right in that pamper. But, all right.
Lass 07. I'm assuming that's how you say it.
Las.
The other day, my 3-year-old son was sitting at the dining room table at... What?
No?
At dinner, blinking his eyes really fast. Asked what he was doing, and he responded, totally straight-faced and unbothered. I'm looking at the man who walked into the kitchen. Stop it. When I blink my eyes like this, I can see him standing behind Mommy. I asked, you can see him standing behind Mommy? What's he look like? What's he doing? He's all black and has no face. He's just standing there watching Mommy. Sometimes I see him walking around the house, but he never looks at me. We live in a very old house.
Whoa. What does he mean sometimes? Right? I see him walking around.
Right?
And is it creepier that he doesn't look at him? Like, that's creepy to me that he's not looking at this kid.
Yeah, we live in a very old house and know the original owner. The man who built the house died there in the 50s. We've always talked about a ghost in the house, but weren't totally...
We weren't?
But we weren't totally serious. My son's comment made the hair stand up on my neck. I've heard others talk about stories where their young kids saw things that creeped them out.
But we weren't scared. Oh. Now, if my kid... That day Ryan said that he saw the hooded figure follow me into the kitchen, I was like, I guess we don't have a kitchen anymore. I'm not going in there. All right, this next person, Laxon, Philly. Lakeson, Philly. Laxon, Philly. My dad died when I was 13. I'm now 41. Oh, you just switched numbers and had one.
I was going to say no.
I showed my 6-year-old a picture of him, and he said, oh, I met him before I was born. Told me his name was Gramps. My dad had always told me he wanted to be a Gramps, since that is what his dad wanted to be called. I never shared this with my son. The end.
I like this name, the quiet one. 695. The quiet one is creepy, though. My wife and I had 2 miscarriages before our daughter, and when my daughter was about 4, she asked me something about being born and was like, well, it took me 3 tries to get here. My wife and I never told her anything about the miscarriages.
You had... Is that the story you were telling me about?
No, but I have read multiple stories about
it took
kids.
me so many times to get here.
Or the one was like, I kept getting sick and I had to go back and...
Is that monkey flyer asleep?
No, but it looked like he was about to be.
Oh, man. This next one...
I keep getting cold, and then I'm hot, and then I'm cold, and then
You
I'm
look
hot.
like an old spinster is what you look... Or you look like you're trying to hide... Is this our OnlyFans edition?
Yeah.
Yeah? Pay extra, we'll remove the black thing. Alright? We'll remove it.
Oh, Lord.
The black bar. Pay extra. 25 cents. 25 cents a boob. Alright, that's 50 cents a body. Alright. It's not that bad. It's a pretty good subscription. Don't show them what you got. Come on, cover that back up. Keep it holy until we keep it don't. Forever Tires 215 says, when my son was 3 or 4, we were walking outside. Oh, wait. Yeah, we were walking outside one night having a casual conversation, and he, to me, and said, you know, I had a son once, but he died. Like, wow, you've lived a lot more life than I have, dude.
And when they're this young, you know, you gotta think, how did you come up with this? Like,
why would you pretend to have a dead son?
Yeah.
Who does that, you psycho?
Right?
I asked him how, and in the same calm tone, he told me the other kids didn't wait for him in the street going to the bus, and he died. He started to cry. It was so genuine, it gave me chills. I also would have been like, oh, dude,
right?
We're about to go see a doctor.
You need some medicine.
Cried over this insane nonsense. All right.
Snoozy Q. That should be my name, because I like to nap. When I was a kid, I was in the car with my friend, her mom, and her 3-year-old cousin driving to their lake house. At one point, the mom had to slam on the brakes. We were sitting in the car, windows open, and the smell of burning rubber wafted in. Her little cousin very matter-of-factly stated, this is what it smelled like when I died. She's 3. Where did she get it?
This is what it smells like when doves cry. This is what it smelled like when I died. I'm sorry, if Oliver was ever to say that, I'd be like, is this going to be what it smells like when you die this time, too? Because I'm not picking you up. You go ahead, we'll see what you come back as next time, sir.
Right?
Hope you get a better father. This is twice now you've been burnt up. So sorry.
That's terrible. We shouldn't make jokes about that.
Mixed bag, my guy. No, it's just mixed bag guy. Go ahead, it's your turn.
It's your turn.
Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
You did the snoozy cue?
Yeah, I get the cheesy McCheese ball.
That is the name. Okay. I got mixed bag guy. Our son was 2. I'm sorry, let me read this right. Our son was 2. And told us a woman named Doris watched over him in his room at night. Crazy thing is, he's never known anyone named Doris. But my father-in-law had a woman named Doris who cared for him when he was a little boy. Now my son told us her description and that she was nice and took care of him. And it definitely freaked us out. I'm sorry, dude. The person above you just said that their child smelled burning rubber when they died. You don't get to be freaked out. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's cause to be freaked out.
She looked like Doris Bithers. She was wonderful. She had all of the Werther's originals that you could eat. She was a wonderful time. No, that doesn't work. You don't get to be scared by Werther's. Alright, this next one.
Cheesy McCheese ball. My son, around 6 or so at the time, said he'd seen a man sitting in the corner of his room and then walk through the wall. We lived in an old RAF. I don't even know what that is.
RAF.
What is it?
I don't know.
I'm assuming it's military, possibly.
Probably. Hey, Will, if you pay attention to this, tell us what an RAF is.
Officer's house, and there once was a door connected to the next house where the man went through that had been bricked up in the 70s. My wife has seen a child walking around and hearing footsteps on the stairs. This is very common.
Royal Air Force.
Hello.
Oliver.
Hi, Chicken Pickle.
Well, we're not trying to show you. You're in the shot because you want to be
You
in the
gotta
shot.
take your binky out if you're gonna be in our video.
Yep. All right, this next story comes from Robobe. Or Robobay.
I don't know.
My daughter is 3. Earlier this year, she told me that about this time before she was born. What? She told me about the time before she was born. She was in depth about hovering over me and her mom during delivery and how she watched over me when I was deployed in Iraq. I suppose that's creepy.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
You get all the big stories this time.
I know. However, you are going to have to make it go down.
Oh, hold on.
Okay. Whiskey and guitars. I also get all the cool names.
Yes.
Over the past few days or so, my 3-year-old daughter has woken up crying, and she tells us about what I'm guessing are dreams, but she seems to think they are real.
Don't hit me.
I didn't hit you, but be quiet.
I've also come to the conclusion 3-year-olds are creepy.
Yes.
Most of these stories are 3. Excuse me. Last night, she saw a girl with no eyes standing by her bed. She said that she smelled bad and asked if the girl was pooping her diaper. She also keeps talking about an old lady that is walking down the path near our house. Tonight, she was worried that the lady might come into our house. My wife told her that the lady wouldn't come in, and my daughter said, "You will be in Mommy and Daddy's room and won't hear her. Daddy is sleeping in the couch," and she was... What?
She will scare him awake. I'm guessing she
will scare him awake. I've been sleeping in the couch because I have been very sick and my coughing disturbs my wife. I also like how they word it like I would word it. Been sleeping in the couch instead of on it.
Also, he knows what it is. He said the wrong thing to his wife, and that's why he's sleeping on the couch. We ain't dumb,
Right.
bro. We ain't dumb. All right, this next one. Hoang to dude.
Huh.
Hoang to dude. When my oldest was 3 years old, he would play with an imaginary friend before bed, and sometimes he would wake up around 3 a.m. Bro, nobody wants to hold
be
you.
in the episode.
He wants to be. He's been in the episode 500
I told him
times.
no binky in the episode because only big boys can be in it. No binky.
He tried. Hey, we said no. Loser. No. No.
You gotta talk, baby.
Dang it.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
When my oldest was 3 years old, he would play with an imaginary friend before bed, and sometimes he would wake up around 3 a.m. to play with him. That's bad. That's bad. That's
Right.
a bad time. Don't do it. Don't let him wake up at 3. If he wakes up at 3, you give him Benadryl at 3:01. That's how that works.
How about just after dark? Period.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock rolls around, wake him up for some Benadryl. Ain't nobody getting him out of that.
Right.
All right? One night, I was washing dishes at 3 a.m. Dude, get your life together.
Maybe they were night shift workers.
Oh, okay, fine. One night, I was washing dishes in the kitchen, and I heard him giggling and running into the living room. I can see into the living room from the kitchen sink. Now, a small, transparent-ish young boy with blonde hair ran into the living room and into the wall and then just disappeared, followed by my son. I told him, both of you need to go to sleep. It's time for bed. That's a parent for you.
Right?
You know what? You need to go to bed too, ghost.
Little spirit boy, get in the bed.
I've seen that little blonde boy before when I was in high school in my dreams. I was surprised that, buddy, we weren't actually talking to a little blonde boy that's in this house, okay? We weren't talking to a real ghost. We were pretending. I was surprised then because I brushed it off as a stupid dream, but here he was playing with my son, who is definitely not white, nor does he have blonde hair.
Why
Okay, so you probably should have said that immediately.
Oliver said, "What in the?"
Yeah, why do we care if we're just assuming everybody that writes these stories are white? because other races don't screw with ghosts
That's
the way
true.
white people do.
That is true.
Like, if you were to ask like Middle Eastern people, like not Jews but Middle
Yeah.
Eastern people, if you were to ask them about ghosts and things, they would be hesitant to talk about it. And don't ask them about the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, don't ask them
And
about the
when
gym.
I lived in Winchester and I had a lot of friends who
Hey.
were black, they didn't want
No,
anything to do with a
I'm gonna
ghost.
push you in the bed.
What?
I'm gonna push you. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna push you in the bed.
You're gonna put me in the bed?
Uh-huh.
Why?
You're a weirdo.
All right, mommy's got to read, and your distraction. I'm your tenderoni. All right. The night my daughter was born, the night nurse came in to check her vitals
I want that.
and said
That.
something
Drink.
very strange. The ghost one, probably.
That one.
You can't have that one.
It's empty. And all the coffee is empty?
All right, let
All
your
right,
mom
let me
read the
read.
story, dude.
And she said something very strange. It was 3 a.m, and after checking everything, she handed my daughter back to me and said, I see many, many babies in this job. I can see in your daughter's eyes she's been here before. I was confused. I'd be like, here, you can have her back.
Yeah, I don't want her now. I didn't ask for a used baby.
Right? I was confused and just looked at her. There was a moment of uncomfortable silence, and then she said, I'm sorry, I hope that didn't upset you. I shouldn't have said that. You're probably right.
Yeah.
And then she turned and left the room. It spooked me, but I somehow understood. 3 years later, I took my daughter to the grocery store. It was...
Hey, I'm gonna put you on the couch.
To the grocery store. It was right after COVID,
Hey,
and
I'm gonna put you
and I hadn't been taking her to many public places, but grocery shopping with my mother was something I always enjoyed as a kid and wanted to have the same experience with her. My mother died over 20 years ago, and I've never talked to my daughter about her grandmother. She's never asked, as she's only 3. Again with the 3-year-olds. As we were heading home, I asked her, did you like grocery shopping with Dad? She replied, I always liked shopping with you. When you were little, I took you shopping. You were in my stomach and I took care of you, and now you take care of me. She just laughed and said, you are my baby, Dada. Later that night, I asked her before bed to tell me more about when I was a little boy. She looked me straight in the eye and said, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Look,
Oliver, stop.
look.
Yeah, I know. I've got lobsters.
I gotta go down some. About a year later, we were eating dinner and she asked if this was our house. Confused, I said, yes, why? She asked if we used to live in another house. I said, no, this has always been our house since you were born. She looked confused and furrowed her brows. She said very insistently that we lived in another house before this one. The house she described to me is the house that I grew up in with my mother, and she has never seen any photos of my, oh my gracious, of my childhood home. One night, when she was around 5, we were laying in bed and she told me she needed to tell me something important. She was very excited and stood up in the bed and was insistent I pay attention. Your mom is this old, and she spreads her arms wide, and you're only this old, and she held her palms close together. Do you understand, Dada? She's so big and very old, and you're new. You're still a baby. It's creepy. I asked her why she wanted to tell me this and how she knew, and she said it was inside her and it needed to come out. Then she said, when you're sad, if you want, you can call me Judy. It's okay if you want to. That was my mom's name. She's 6 now, and lately she has taken to calling me by my childhood name. Imagine Bobby instead of Robert. No one else calls me that or ever has since I was a kid. Sometimes I ask her, why are you calling me that? I'm your dad. She just replies, that's your name and that's what I want to call you.
Creepy child.
Right?
And look how much I gotta read.
A baby must have tried to help with this one.
Deleted.
Look what Daddy and Mommy.
My 3-year-old. What is with these 3-year-olds?
Right? Maybe
Burn
Oliver
every
has
3-year-old you have. Burn them at the stake. We're about to burn you. Right? Actually, your butt needs burned.
It does.
Smell that nonsense. My 3-year-old, the other night at bedtime to me,
Probably
said to me, I'm your baby sister. Come back to be with you forever.
No.
My younger sister died 3 years ago when my daughter was 5 months old. She doesn't remember my sister, and I don't refer to her as my baby sister, so I was officially creeped out and told her, go to sleep.
It's bedtime.
Go to sleep. This one here. Bonorum.
I don't even know.
We don't know how to say this one.
Ooh, what in the world?
I don't know. Why is it not working?
I don't know.
This isn't the end of the thing, is it? That's not the last story.
No,
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. My daughter told me 2 things that shocked me when she was 3. First was one day she was talking about how her last mommy left her in the car. It was too hot. I don't like the sun. Don't leave me. She gets very panicked if the car is warm or if the sun warms her seat a little too much. I don't like the heat either, so we try to reduce that, and we've always worked on abandonment issues that she's gotten out of nowhere. She has never been left alone in a car, and as a stay-at-home mom that had no other sitter choices since I had her during COVID, she's gone everywhere with me and has been alone. She is also terrified.
Never has been
Right.
alone.
She is also terrified of water going over her eyes, so all baths were a real fight. When she was around the same age, I had been working so hard to try to get her past the sheer panic and screaming and crying like I was murdering her. I was at my wit's end trying to reassure her and work through it. Then she finally told me that she's scared of water because when she was on the big boat, it went under the water and she couldn't breathe anymore, and told me how scared she was when the water went over her eyes and it was so dark and cold. Both instances, why won't it go down?
I don't know. It's being weird. Let's see.
Ah! Too far. I rattled everything to see where she could have gotten either of those stories, but there was nothing. It still spooks me when I think about it, and I get creeped out when I think about it. I mean,
That's it.
yeah.
Oh, is that the last of our...
Yes.
Talk about our own kids being creepy. Well, really, it's only been Ryan.
Oh, it's been a little creepy.
That one time he said,
Not to drive in the water.
yeah, because it
Or
would
something.
drown us.
Yeah.
We would drown.
But he said that multiple times.
You ever drowned, Oliver? Thank goodness he said no. Ryan, that one time, saw the hooded figure follow me into
Yeah.
the kitchen.
And then they saw the man sitting in their old room.
Oh, yeah,
in
they
the
used to see
corner.
the man
Yeah.
sitting in the beanbag chair
Yeah.
in the room at the old house. That was creepy. That was really
That
creepy because
was.
they said it multiple nights.
Yeah, and they both agreed on the story.
Yes.
I told him, I said, did your last mommy leave you at the park? He said, yeah.
How sad.
What last mommy? This is the first mommy he's ever had. You get out of here, sister.
What's some creepy things?
What? You're asking him? He'll make it up.
Don't make it up. Like something you remember,
Ryan's face. I don't know.
like when you guys used to tell us that the man sat in the beanbag chair in your room at night.
You don't remember that?
No, I do.
I remember Ryan saying the pictures were floating around the wall, but that was like right after his brain surgery, so
Yeah.
that could have been a
Could have been drugs.
medicine hallucination.
awesome drugs.
Because he was on a lot of stuff.
It's probably hot.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Um,
Reading my monkey book.
Not yet.
I want to read it first.
I don't know.
I know there's been a lot more stuff. It's
Oh,
just
whenever that knocking up at the...
yeah, the knocking up there.
Well, we had that on footage.
yeah when
too.
Brian and I went up there.
So, that's haunted.
We don't live that creepy of a life. Really, the creepiest thing is how many times, like, they made me put a crucifix hanging from their ceiling
Yeah.
to try and keep that old man out,
I remember that.
which means they were scared of him.
And then when my grandma was dying and was at her house, because I don't believe they ever came with me in the hospital to see her, but when she went home, obviously they came. And Jacob always stayed outside, but because he was a baby still. And Ryan wanted to come in with me one day because they just had her bed in the living room because that's where she wanted to be. And I mean, Ryan was 3 or 4, the creepy age.
Yeah.
And he kind of stayed back away, and then when we went outside, he asked who was that man beside Great Grammy, and we just kind of brushed it off because it was creepy.
Right.
And then later, when he saw a picture of my grandpa, he said that's who was with her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he had passed years before that, but so they've never met my grandpa, but that once he saw the picture, he said that's who was standing beside her the day before she died.
After my grandfather passed and I was taking care of my grandmother, I was on the phone with Grayson, video calling, and he asked me, I was in that one room that had windows. At one point it was porched off, but it was where my grandma was.
Okay, yeah.
There used to be a couch in there, and I was laying down on the couch, and he asked me who the man was behind me. Now, I looked at my screen, there was nothing there. I looked behind me, there's nothing there, but then he described Grandpa to me, and I was like, that's not okay. We're not doing that. But in terms of creepy kids, ours haven't been that terribly creepy. They've grown out of seeing stuff. Oliver hasn't ever seen anything that we know of.
His make-believe friend at Nana's, but I don't know if...
I'm sorry, he has a make-believe friend at Nana's?
He hasn't talked about him in a while, but he did for a little bit. And he creeped my mom out because he said that he sleeps in the bed with her and stuff.
That's awesome.
I thought I told you about it.
No, that's great. So that's our episode, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it thrilled you a little, chilled you a little. I know it's a little short, but that's okay. We have things to do today.
Like this.
Yes,
I wanted to show this off. I mean, they'll see it after the fact of the event, but...
We have our very own Mothman Day happening here in Wardensville at Wordplay, so we're going to go do that.
It's family friendly. And Jacob actually got this one at school yesterday, and Wordplay was kind enough to give all of them books, and they are signed by the author. So we're just going to show support because Wordplay is awesome. So
and
buy your books from them.
Quick update on the show. Halloween episode is written.
Woohoo!
It's done. So now all we have to do is record it, put in the special things that I want to put in, if there is any special things.
So it won't be live this year, right?
No, it won't be
like
live. It'll be just normal YouTube, normal Spotify, but I am going to try and splice in some editorial magic so that you're not only looking at our face. I want it to be kind of documentary style.
Yeah.
So we'll work on that. But with that being said, guys.
Also, don't forget September 26th at the Walnut Grove Church. We're not doing it, but we'll be there. Bonfire and ghost stories of local folklore and legends and stuff.
All right. So remember all that. Also remember to follow, like, and subscribe, and also share. Share it as if it is a community that you want other people to be a part of. We're a family here.
Because we're nice.
We're nice. I have to use the bathroom, though, so we're going to close this up and open it up to... Listen, here we go. You need to curl your feet up. Salty garlic and sock basket. They're not fighting right now. In fact,
Because they get my feet.
They're not fighting right now because Julia has provided her skin cells. But strangely enough, her skin cells seem to be full of libido. And I don't know if you've ever seen a dog and cat try and go at it. It's horrible. So you're going to need to curl up your feet because you don't want any of that ectoplasm on you.
Gross.
Bye.
Bye.
Oliver, you want to say bye? No. All right. Look at little Franklin watching his puppy videos. But you don't have to watch puppy videos. You can watch Ghosted in West Virginia and join our channel. And if you think about it, you could also go over to Ghosted in West Virginia Facebook page and share and subscribe there as well. Of course, if you don't, you're a loser.